The condo market continues to be struggling. Condos, however, now that would have previously turned around quickly are simply not moving. Condo sales in the Greater Toronto Area dropped by 23.5% in March. That's according to the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. For more on the current state of the condo market, we're joined this morning in studio by David Fleming, Toronto realtor and real estate blog author. David, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
We're talking about this because you and I had a conversation the last time you were here.
Yes.
You said you haven't seen anything like this in years. So what are you seeing?
Yeah, and we were kind of chatting about the overall market. Hey, freeholds are moving, houses are moving, condos are not. And so what we're seeing out there right now is that condo sales are down, condo listings are up. And what that means, the net effect, is that the absorption rate is a lot lower. So it's a lowest absorption rate I've ever seen, which means approximately 1 out of every 4 listings results in a sale. And that is something I have not seen in my whole career.
1 out of every 4 results in a sale.
Statistically.
What's happening to the other 3?
Well, I see a lot of people that are trying to pretend it's 2022. They're listing low with an offer date. I wrote on my blog that the success rate for that is down to about 10%. It was about 60% when the market was ripping in 2021, 2022. That was a lot of research, but I was very curious to know about that. So people that are listing low with an offer date for condos, you're in the wrong year.
So what's the best advice? Do they hang on? Do they try to dump it and move on?
Well, it's not so much about dumping it. It's sort of being realistic about pricing. So, I mean, I have a condo listing, let's say it's at $599. The identical unit, 1 floor up, exactly the same, is at $699. Not $610, not $620. That's a seller that either has absolutely no idea or just doesn't care. They're just saying, I'll leave it, and if it sells, it sells. Maybe it's tenanted, maybe they're in no rush, but that's not a recipe for success.
Let's go back in time a little bit. And does this have to do with pre-construction sales and people thinking, I'm buying this as an investment, this is going to continue?
Some of them, yeah, and we talked about this off camera, and that's a whole other issue with the pre-construction. There's a lawsuit with developers that are suing buyers that can't close, and I think between a media cycle, between a flood of inventory, and then between a lot of people that can't close, there's a lot of fear out there. And so it's ironic because in 2021, 2022, the fear was FOMO. It was buyers saying, prices are running up, I can't wait, I need to get in. The similar fear now, or the exact opposite, is I think prices are going to be going down. It's the same fear, and it's the same group of people, which is first-time condo buyers. They're afraid if I jump in now and I get a wicked deal based off of the peak price, prices will go down lower. So I think those folks are on the sidelines, and that group is enough to move the needle.
Prices are lower and interest rates are higher.
Yeah, and interest rates are coming down, which ironically you would have thought would have motivated some of these folks who've been sitting on the sidelines to get out there and buy. So, I mean, I think it is a great time to buy a condo, but you've got to be willing to say, if it goes down a little bit more in the next 6, 12 months, I'm buying this for 5 to 6 years. I just see so much fear among that demographic. They're sitting on the sidelines.
There's a couple of stories we could touch on here, but I want to talk about the Toronto Star report, and you had this on your blog as well. The number of lawsuits against condo buyers. This is from developers. What's happening here?
Wow, long story, but essentially the house of cards, as it will, has folded. I have never sold a pre-construction condo in 21 years. The pricing never made sense. People pay more to maybe get something if it's not canceled or redesigned or relaunched 5 years from now. And eventually when the prices go down, these people are so far behind, they can't afford to close on their purchase. So the developers are not just saying, okay, I'll keep your deposit. They're going ahead and suing the buyers and squeezing blood from a stone. I don't know if they're actually going to get any money, but this will be a very, very interesting test.
And they are within their legal rights to do this.
Absolutely, they are. I mean, pre-construction, it's gambling. It's always been gambling. You don't walk into a casino, put all your money in the roulette wheel, lose, and then turn to the pit boss and say, I've changed my mind. So all these pre-construction buyers right now are saying, hey, wait a minute, this isn't fair. But it ceased to be about real estate a long time ago. It was an investment, it was a gamble, and now you're seeing the unfortunate reality.
You know, real estate is a market, and markets we know go through cycles. So do you foresee the condo market rebounding?
Eventually, all markets rebound, and I'm not just saying that. I know that sounds silly to some folks, but every dip over the last 25 years has been followed up by another boom or another gradual climb. Every peak that we've seen previously has been surpassed, so I think this one's going to take a little bit longer for the condo market in general, at least 6 to 12 months, but then because of the lack of units that are being built, I think 4 to 5 years from now, we're going to have a massive deficit in condos.
I want to touch really quickly on the other story that you mentioned, which is this increasing divide, which is also something you hadn't seen in a long time, where between condo sales and house sales.
Yes, and in the central core, houses are still doing exceptionally well. On the same day that I received on one of my condo listings an offer for about 88% of the list price, I saw 7 offers and $650,000 over list on a Riverdale home. So the divide continues to widen. The freehold market is moving. The condo market is not. And for folks that want to buy freehold, that have their equity tied up in a condo, those guys are either going to have to take a loss or they're going to have to wait.
All right, grim news, but good honesty. We appreciate it, David.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming back. As Toronto real estate broker and Realty Blog author, David Fleming. Check him out. If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.